Man, hey, so I'm ripping and running. There we go. I'm ripping and running. It's been a busy day, but it is Chief T and it is after 3. I got the close up on there. But for those that don't know, I've been challenged to do 26 days of ABCs as it relates to finances. And today we're going to be talking about, what is it like? V! We're going to be talking about the letter V. So, hey, my mentor talked about it today. I actually said it first, but I'm going to leave it alone. It's a powerful word. It's great when you have the same mindset as people that are already doing the things that you desire to do and desire to become. So, today's first word is vulnerable. Vulnerability. You would never accomplish greatness or never achieve a level of perfection without being vulnerable. Your most vulnerable moments in life, if you think back at it, have been the most joyous occasions of your life. Think about it. When a man and a woman come together in holy matrimony, they're vulnerable with each other. They've shared things about themselves that no one else knows or no one else has experienced. When a man and a woman have that wedding night, they experience a very genuine vulnerability between them and each other, fully naked, them as they are, with all flaws, all scars, everything open, and their hearts poured out to one another. That's a vulnerability. When you have a child that is newborn and it's in the arms of its mother and father, that is their most vulnerable moment, their most vulnerable state. That is a position in which they depend heavily and solely upon the mom and the father to basically nurture them, to care for them. So when you're talking about finances, you have to be vulnerable as well. You got to have a mindset to say, there are some things that I don't know, and I'm willing to humble myself enough to say that I need help in this area. A lot of people, you see them on the side of the roads and you pass them by and you wonder, are you really at a place to where you need help, or are you just trying to get a free handout? Some of those people experience it takes a lot of humility to sit there and ask for some guidance or some assistance from someone. It takes a really humble person to be vulnerable enough to put themselves in that predicament to say, hey, yeah, I am that person. I literally lost everything I had, and I'm out here on the streets, not to steal or not to take away from somebody, but to really, I need a help up, Vulnerability removes pride and puts you in a position for you to say, I need your help. I'm willing to accept your assistance. Please take my hand. Vulnerability is huge, but you got to have vision. That's another word that I really think it holds true. If you have no vision, your money just flies and goes wherever it wants to go because you have no direction for it. Your eyes are looking at the ground and you're going nowhere because you have no vision. You got to have a vision for your life. I don't care if you're a single soldier or a married individual or whatever, but even if you are single, we talk a lot about legacy, but most people are like, well, I don't have kids. Okay, you don't have kids. What do you see for yourself? Do you see yourself living the same way every day and so forth? Or can you see past your current circumstance enough to say, hey, I need to apply some financial tips so that I can be further than where I was last year and further than what my parents were when they had me? That's true vision as it relates to finances. You got to have a mindset to be victorious. You can't just play the victim role your entire life as it plays out in your finances. I grew up in this type of environment, so this is all I know. This is all I ever be. I challenge most soldiers to just travel just for the sake of getting to know different experiences and seeing different opportunities, which will expand your vision. My mentor, he just purchased 20 acres of land. Literally, his neighbors are Ludacris to the left, a famous football player to the right, and Isaiah Washington, for those that don't know, is Denzel Washington's son, to the front of him. 20 acres. My grandfather, I believe, owns about 15 to 20 acres himself, but I would have never guessed or never envisioned putting what Brian has on his acres, which is called Bean Acres. You should visit it in ATL. I would have never thought of turning my grandfather's, what we call a pond, into something where people would come in and have date nights around in, paddle boats and zip lines. I would have never thought to put tiny houses on it and have a nature trail, four-wheeling, events, archery. I would have never thought that, but Brian has placed the vision for his acreage, and now he's going to be able to turn some cash, invest it into this asset, and basically continue to build upon being acres to where it's basically leaving a legacy not only for himself to live off of now, but also for his son to have and to hold and to basically cherish and pass down to the next generation to generation. So having a vision, it goes further than you. And so I would just say, quick note, just expand your vision, expand, your mindset by engulfing yourself in people that are doing way better than you, that are doing far exceedingly more than what you would ever think about, so that your vision will expand and you can do more for yourself and for your family. I think there was another one. You got to have a voice. One of the biggest things that I talk about, especially in the military, is you got to have a voice. If you're a closed mouth don't get fed, but a closed mouth don't get heard either. So you got to definitely speak things into existence. I'm a believer, and I believe that you speak things into existence. The life that you live is what you say. How you think about yourself determines who you are. And you got to understand that unless you speak out, no one's going to hear what you have to say. PFC Thomas was never somebody that just kept his mouth closed. Yep, I got into a lot of trouble because I had a mouth. My mama always told me, your mouth going to get you in trouble. And literally, it has gotten me into trouble, but it's also been a voice for other people and myself. There's one particular story, the Lorax from Dr. Seuss. He always say, I speak for the trees. And I believe that, some people, they deserve to be spoken for, but don't take that out of context. A lot of people say, well, they like to speak on other people's behalf. That's a difference. There's a difference between that. Let people have a voice for themselves, but you share that voice to others, not you speak for them. Oh, I think a lot of people do this because of that. No. Don't put me in that category. I can speak for myself. But when someone confides to you and says, hey, I wish this would happen, you speak on that person's behalf, bring their name up, and you basically, sharing that I guess the opposition for them, but I don't ever speak for people. I speak on behalf of people that already voiced their opinion, and I'm gonna say, voice your opinion in a tactful manner, but always seek to be to understand before being understood. I talked about that yesterday, but have a voice, be vulnerable, meaning letting yourself. Some of us don't even like ourselves, We're not vulnerable enough to show people who we really are. And I would say, show people who you really are. If they are genuine people and they like you, they will go ahead and accept you as you are. So have a mindset to speak your voice, be vulnerable, understand that you got to have a vision which drives your purpose. So, hey, that's all I have to say for today. It's been a very busy day. It's been a very impactful day, but I guarantee you, if you stick around and follow me later on today, you're going to be blessed with some very good information and some insight. So, hey, continue having a great day. I hope you be blessed. Peace.